Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros. I'm here with the King. The King is Tim. Are you hiding your face because of the ugly defeat this week?
Confirmed.
Oh, it's bad. Well, the 49ers kicked our butts 30-7.
TJ, hell of a prediction you had on Brock Purdy, by the way. Hell of a prediction.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I missed the boat along with a lot of other people too. Tim, I did not see that coming. I mean, everything was bad. Everything.
TJ, I was in a hotel room in Kentucky trying to watch that game on a 27-inch TV. It was so depressing. I don't even know where to begin.
Maybe
don't
Tim,
even know where to begin.
Maybe you should begin with a song, Tim. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
TJ, this team stinks.
Well, I mean, here's the big question. The big question is this: are the Steelers that bad, or is San Francisco just that good? Did we just run into a buzzsaw that is kind of picking up where they left off last year? That's a pretty darn good team, Tim.
TJ, Kenny Pickett stinks.
Well, I mean that's true. I mean, it's another big question: is what happened to Kenny? I mean, is this really the Kenny, or did he just get rattled? Did he get rattled?
TJ,
didn't know what to do? I mean,
he was missing
man.
dudes. I could have made some of them passes, TJ. I could have made some of them passes.
Would you have thrown it lefty or underhand, Tim?
Could have done better anyway. You pick. A la carte. Your pick.
Yeah, he was pretty bad, and the defense didn't look good. And man, to lose Cam Hayward, that doesn't help either.
TJ, I could have been averaging 3.6 yards a carry on that defense.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean,
don't even get me started on Percy Harvin. I don't know how that guy's on the team.
Oh, he stinks. Did you see today? They brought in a punter today. They're working on a punter from the XFL.
We had that punter before. He was on our roster at one point. He was our punter for like 4 years. We've had crappy punters for 20 years. How does a franchise do that?
I don't know. It was bad. I mean, so you lose Cam in that game. You lose Deontay in that game too. We have all the Deontay haters now, and I bet they're all like, "Holy cow, what are we going to do now?"
I mean,
it was a brutal game.
The worst case about this, that 14 is a ticking time bomb. It's going to happen before the 2 years, 3 years.
It might, unless you start feeding them the rock. I don't know. It's a bad game when McFarland is one of your best players.
TJ, Najee, I've never seen Najee get hit so hard in my life. The first play of the game, I knew right then and there, I was like, we are in some deep doo-doo.
No, you're right. They set the tone.
It was like somebody took us out to the deep end and just was like, we're going to drown you for 4 hours.
Dude, I think they're just an amazing team. And even more than them being an amazing team, they are put together. They've got a plan. They know what they're doing. Some of these teams, usually teams have to ramp up. They didn't have to ramp up. They just came out of the gates ridiculous. Barring any injuries, San Francisco is going to be tough to deal with this year.
TJ, Dan Moore was rated the worst run and pass blocker in the NFL that week. How do you get both?
I believe it. There were a few bright spots. I tell you what, it was kind of nice to see. Mount Washington. He had a pretty good day blocking. He did pretty good on Bosa. And then TJ Watt is TJ Watt. Hello.
Can he play every position? Can you put him at quarterback?
You can't, unfortunately. But Tim, so we either got to. I mean, we're going to find out this week if last week was just the buzzsaw of the 49ers, or if if we really are terrible. I mean, now this is again, what does Tomlin say? We do not seek comfort. Well, part of our not seeking comfort is knowing that the Cleveland Browns beat the Bengals 24-3, which is now here's the only great takeaway of the whole thing. I don't know if you realize this or not. Between Burrow, between Watson, and even our friend from the Ravens, Lamar, the highest rated passer of the week is Kenny Pickett. He had the most yards more than any passer in the AFC.
TJ,
Dude,
the
Burrow threw
Niners were
for
playing prevent
84
defense
yards.
90% of the game.
I get it. I get it. I get it. So we got to put the Niners behind us. You
Can
know,
we put the nine? We can't because I can't look forward without looking back, and
you
that's a
got to
bad
look,
back.
Tim, you got to look forward. You got to put them behind you. So now we look forward to the 49 or to the Cleveland Browns. You play them on Monday night. We're going to see if if they were just they just were lucky or not. We'll talk all about, we'll break down Cleveland and all that stuff.
Did you before we stop that one point? Did you see the play? What's the guard's name? Samal, the guy that the Hawaiian guy, the guy they got from the Eagles.
Yeah, from the Eagles.
TJ, I've never seen anything like it. The defensive lineman got past him so fast, he thought it was a screen pass, and it wasn't. He stopped,
It was bad.
and it was a regular
bad
pass
day.
pattern.
It was a bad day.
I've never seen anything like it.
I know it was a bad day.
So
I think the 49ers were amped up, and I mean, let's just be real too. Canada was completely overmatched.
that guy, I mean, it's like he's playing Tecmo Bowl up in the freaking booth. He got 3 plays, and that's what he runs.
I agree. I agree. So we'll
TJ,
see.
I don't understand how teams. I don't understand how teams. Dudes are just. There's dudes not 15 feet from them
I know.
running around. Our guys
Scheming.
have to make catches that they have to make catches like with dudes hanging all over them.
I know.
Can't you scheme somebody free?
That they need to scheme somebody free. And I mean, let's just be real. I mean, the 49ers are loaded with
TJ,
fast talent.
Brandon Ayuk, there wasn't anybody running within 15 yards of him.
Well, but there's a reason for that, because you got to double team everybody else. I mean, he's the guy you're not double teaming.
We don't have an alien freak. You got to double team Pickens.
Well, you
Pickens?
do, but the other guys. Now, I'll tell you what, Deontay, even on the play he got hurt, he had a good chunk of yardage. When he was done, I was like, we're done.
I was happy he was running forward. I mean, that's
Yeah,
the progress
was
from last
too.
year. Okay,
I
let's
was
move
too.
on. This team. Oh,
Well, now we got Cleveland coming up, and again, the Cleveland and the Bengal game was not the greatest on the planet. Now, where Cleveland really won the battle again, they had over 200 yards rushing, so that can be a
that
problem
Cleveland
for us.
defense held that offense to like 100 yards. They got T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and what do you think they're going to do to us?
Like, well, I think we got to run the ball again. This was
Run
this
the ball?
if you look at the game since he's Achilles heel was their line. Their line was not very good.
TJ,
So,
did you watch our last game? What do you think?
well, Tim, Cleveland and San Francisco are not the same team.
I think we lost our best lineman. Chooks is the best one to play last week because he was on Bosa's side, and Bosa didn't do diddly poo. Stunningly.
Yeah, he was.
Now you got Dan Moore saying, "Well, I like what's the rookie we got the first rounder."
Oh, you talking about the dude we got from Georgia?
He goes, he's going to play where Chooks is because he can adapt better to you. So I'm going, Dan Moore, you shouldn't be saying that.
No, he shouldn't be. It's bad. It's bad. Okay, so before we go and we break down the Cleveland Steeler game, let's take a look at the Yinzer mailbag. Now, you may ask, what's the Yinzer mailbag? It's when you, the fans, get to ask us, the Yinzer Bros, anything you want. It's a great opportunity for you to get, even to unburden yourself, to get some things off your chest. If you want to send us an email that could get on this international podcast, just send it to yinzerbros@gmail.com. Again, yinzerbros@gmail.com. If you're lucky enough, we'll share it on our international podcast. Tim, what do we have in the Yinzer mailbag tonight?
I mean, I got a couple things. I actually had Smetty, who's the Mush's daughter, sent a question in, said, "Hey, I thought the Steelers were supposed to be good, question mark."
Really?
That was one question. I'll give you the wrap of the 3 questions she gave, and I never got more depressed in my life. See that?
Yeah.
Is Myles Garrett going to kill us? And did Kenny Pickett have a concussion? My exact statement back to her was, these questions all make me sad.
That's true. What was the first question again? The first question was what?
I thought the Steelers were supposed to be good, question mark.
Well, now let's just say it's the first game. It's okay. So let's see what happens. Second, hey, how many sacks did Garrett have last week?
He all I saw was a clip of him doing the crossover, this, and he just destroyed the quarterback after that. He actually was doing a crossover, doing a basketball move.
Well, I want to know how many. I want to see. I don't think he had any sacks last week.
I think he did, TJ. I'm 100% positive he did.
Let's see. Let's
I
see.
saw one.
Was it before or after? Did they just let him molest the quarterback?
TJ, he went right over center. He actually did a crossover. I'm not. You think I'm making that up? He actually did a basketball move. They had him standing
Really?
up. Yeah.
So what was the last question?
I don't know. I'll get into the mushes stuff.
So
Uh,
he had one sack last week.
yeah. Yeah.
One measly sack.
TJ, he was going against the guy that they spent $80 million to get in Cincinnati.
That's true.
Is the
Hey,
left tackle.
didn't Cincinnati lose their stud? Or excuse me, didn't Cleveland lose their stud tackle?
So what?
They try to run the ball, so
Didn't we
it's going to
lose our
impact their run.
stud defensive lineman?
Well, we did, yeah, we did, and we lost one of our stud receivers too. What was the last question again?
Um, I don't know. I'll get into the mushes questions. So
Yeah, what are his questions?
he goes, "Hey, is it too early to hit the panic button?"
No, we're not hitting any panic button. We do
I'm
not
hitting
live
the
in our
panic
fears.
button. Look
Tim.
at me. I'm at a Burger King mask, and I got fire behind me.
Tim, we do not live in our fears. We do not live in our fears.
TJ, this team looks worse than last year. I
Hey,
had high hopes.
I got a question for the mush real quick. Here's my question for the mush. Are they going to deactivate Chase Claypool this week
TJ,
for the Bears?
that's the only thing that gave me happiness this whole entire week was Chase Claypool looking so bad for the Bears. That's all I could say was like, at least we basically pillaged you guys for a second round pick. But I don't know how good Porter is because he's got to be better than the one of the corners we got it out there.
Oh, they're
Played
bad.
5 plays. Five
Yeah,
plays.
our corners are bad. They were very bad. It drives me bananas how bad they are.
I mean, you got Patrick Peterson talking all that smack, and he's just
Well,
getting
why is he talking?
toasted.
He's too old to talk smack.
Don't just put your dentures in and play corner. Good God. Here's his question. RB1 had 31 yards. Seems that the Steelers are more successful when they get the running game going. When Sunday's rushing performance is indication of Harris, or was it Harris's fault or the Harris's fault, the O-line, or Matt Canada? They had no
Yes.
rushing attack.
Yes, it's all three.
All of them.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it is too. Harris again. He's a downhill runner. When he decides to stop in reverse direction, stuff like that, he stops his entire frame, and then he stops.
They had 4 yards. 4 yards.
I totally
Almost at
get it.
halftime.
I get it. I totally get it. No, I think you're right. I mean, he's running around out there. It's like he's not even, his head's not even in the game. It's like he is like, it's ridiculous. It's like, I don't understand what he does.
I mean, he had a pretty good run.
He had the one. I'll give him that. I don't think the line was
They
great.
only rushed
I
about
think
10 times, dude.
yeah, I think the scheme was bad too. I think the scheme was just bad.
I knew it was going to be a long day when I saw the jet sweep play 2.
I know.
Play 2.
But you know, who didn't run the jet sweep? Why is everybody running the jet sweep now?
Here's my thing. They put in Austin. It's like, I could have told you they're running the jet sweep. He was in the second play of the game.
I understand. I get it. It's almost like Matt Canada. Is he the one that injected this stupid jet sweep to the whole league? I mean, does he have? It's like he's hypnotized everybody in the whole league. Hey, we're all going to run jet sweeps now. Why are even thinking? Even Kansas City was running jet sweeps. Why are they running jet sweeps?
Here's the difference. Kansas City schemes those guys to like be one-on-one in the field on the jet sweeps. Matt Canada's just up there calling plays, hoping he's throwing shit against the wall, hoping it sticks.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Excuse my French. I mean,
you sound like Ro Harris. You sound like Ro Harris.
All right. Only 3 targets for Frymouth.
Is he going to even play this week? I heard he had like a chest contusion or something.
I'm beginning to think he's made of glass too.
Yeah, he's not very tough.
I don't understand, man. Is Bosa good at football? Yes, he's good at football, Mark. Are the 49ers are 49ers are good at football? I know they're good at football, Mark.
Yeah. The 49ers, I'll tell you what right now. Tell me a better team in the NFC. I think they're better than the Eagles right now.
The way the Eagles looks tonight.
The Eagles squeaked by.
I'm beginning to think it's me. I really am. I think Mush somehow got to me. Every dude that I have Jalen Hurts as my fantasy quarterback in one of my league. He looks like he stinks the bed. I had Aaron Rodgers as my other fantasy quarterback in my other league. He lasted 4 plays. 4 plays. TJ, you know who I started last week in one of my teams? T. Higgins. You know how many points he had? 0. 0. He didn't even catch.
That's great. Yeah,
I think it's me. It's me.
Yeah, Tim. Usually your fantasy strategies are airtight, but not this year, buddy. Not this year.
TJ, I didn't think my fantasy team was going to lose a game. T. Higgins, 0 catches for 0 yards,
No,
0 attempts.
no.
Ugh.
What else you got?
Who's going to keep Miles Davis? It's not even, is his name Miles Davis?
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
I'm not even I'm not even dignify that with an answer. You got to get the right name, Bush. If you don't have the
Who's
right
gonna
name,
keep
we're not
him,
going to
who's going
answer.
to keep him out of the backfield this week or in Kenny's face?
The
Out
two
of Kenny's
guys.
face.
Well,
Huh?
they're going to do the same thing to him that what they did to Bosa. They're going to send two guys over. It's going to be
Yeah, but
Washington.
the difference is they got a guy on the other side that just he's very good too. Kenny ain't good. You remember your prediction of Purdy not lasting the game?
Yeah,
I don't think Goldilocks is going to last this game. I think we're going to
we'll see. He's
Kenny.
got to be better than he was last year or last
And
week.
he just said on the bright side, Vegas next week.
Yeah,
Again,
but I don't want to go into Vegas 0-2. I don't want to get our butts kicked in another state, Tim.
TJ, I'm telling you right now, if they lose out in Vegas, your main mission is for me not to spend thousands of dollars at a blackjack table drunk as a skunk.
Tim, you crack me up.
You know,
Holy
get a
cow.
Kenny Pickett jersey that I'll probably have somewhere. There'll probably be
Tim.
somewhere left in Vegas, in the pool, somewhere. I don't know.
Tim, be set on fire somewhere. Oh, jeez.
Ugh.
It's bad.
Maybe it is me. And it makes it even worse. You know, where we're staying,
Where?
a part of the MGM Grand, the Mandalay Bay, but
Yeah.
their systems got hacked. So, like, they're like checking people in by like, I heard by like workbook out in front. It's going to take us 9 years to check in our hotel.
By
I
like
called
paper.
yesterday. I'm going, hey, your app's not working. He's like, yeah, but our computers has been compromised. I'm going, what does that mean? I was like, I can't book a reservation for dinner. So he booked this reservation for dinner. I don't know if it's valid or we're going to show up.
Tim, maybe it is you. Holy crap, maybe it is you, Tim.
But we'll know real quick.
We will.
If we're flying over 10,000 feet and the plane starts.
Don't talk like that. Why are you talking like that? Don't talk like that.
All right.
Jeez.
So let's get
Anything
into
else?
game No, I can't. Mush is so happy, even though the Bears. I mean, the Bears suck too.
Yeah, they're bad.
I mean, they're bad.
We just got to hope to bounce back. Again, if you got any questions, you can send them to yinzerbros@gmail.com. If you're lucky enough, we'll get to answer your question on this incredibly international podcast. All right, let's talk about the game on Monday night. Let's look at the Cleveland offense to start. I mean, what do you think are our keys for the defense to neutralize the Cleveland offense, Tim?
What do you think, TJ? What do
Well,
you
it's
think?
got to be first. You have to stop Nick Chubb.
Yeah, TJ, he's going to run for 1,000,000 yards against us.
You got to plug in the holes. So again, we from a defensive perspective, Cam is out. So who steps up for Cam?
I don't know. I was hoping I'd see like J.J. Watt getting signed this week out of nowhere or something like that. I'd be like, oh, this is great.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
But I got to look at the rest of these crew. I don't know. I got to look at Louder Face for the.
Did they bring that big guy off the what's his name, Faduku, whatever his name? Did they bring him off the practice squad?
I don't know.
Tim, you watch. Well, they'll have Benton. Benton didn't look bad actually. He wasn't too bad
TJ.
on Sunday.
They gave up like 250 yards rushing. I said to my
know.
buddy, he goes, he's a Niner fan. It's a third quarter. He's going, this game's going to take forever. I was like, don't worry. Wait till around the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, when you're running it right down our throats. Game's going to go real quick. I think that fourth quarter lasted a minute and a half because all they did was just run the ball down our throats.
They did. So that we got to stop. We have to stop Chubb. Does Watson? Does he scare you a little bit or no? He didn't look great this week.
No, but knowing our luck, he's probably going to be hitting up the massage parlors in Pittsburgh. TJ, I don't know. I would rather lose to Chubb. I'd rather see Chubb go for 300 yards than Watson somehow beat us.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see. I mean, they're going to have to plug those holes. The inside backers are going to have to play better. Now, again, I'm not afraid as much of the Cleveland passing attack as I was. As far as with what we had to do with the 49ers, they don't have the speed of the Niners, but I mean, they're still a good football team.
Yeah, but every time I've seen them play Cleveland, it seems like it's like Amari Cooper. They make him sound like he's Superman. Like all he's doing is running around the field free. I had just visions of Peterson and I don't know, 29. I don't even know his name anymore. He was so he was infuriating me. Just 40 yards off. They play 10 yards off the ball.
Is he on the list, Tim? Is he on the list?
No, but Parvin's on the list. Harvin is on the list. If I got to see another 35-yard punt from that guy, I'm done with him.
He stinks. So the defense has to step up. Who's your defensive key to the game? Who's the player of the game?
So one of them bums playing middle linebackers do something. And
Holcomb.
I'm gonna say Benton because he has to step up. He
Yeah,
has to.
Benton could be good. I mean, I mean, Watt's a given. You know, he's a given. He'll be
Oh,
fine.
I heard the rookie guy knows the elixir to stop T.J. Watt. You know what that's called? A triple team, you dummy. That's what it's called.
And they got no elixir to stop him. That's crazy.
We
Well,
need
that's
Highsmith to show up too.
yeah, we do. I mean, he wasn't awful. He wasn't bad, but you know,
Were you watching the same game I was watching?
I was watching it. He did. I mean, that one McCaffrey's a freak, man. He's a freak. He's fast. You know what's funny, Tim? You and McCaffrey almost have the same specs. 5'11", like 210.
And he's also married to a supermodel like my wife.
That's right. So it's basically it's like a mirror image. He's like you're his doppelganger. He's your doppelganger. That's
Taught him
almost
everything he
exactly the
knows.
same. Yeah, I'm sure he did. So let's flip to the other side of the ball now. Let's talk about what do the Steelers need to do on the offense if they're going to beat the Browns, Tim. Where do you think their offense starts this week?
Maybe get a first down after, I don't know, 7 possessions.
That would be great. So give me what's some of the strategy that you think would give them, the perfect opportunity to win the game.
TJ, I would run the ball 5 million
Yeah,
times.
they got to run the ball. I think Kenny had too much pressure on him because, dude, he threw the ball like 40 some times. When is that ever a good idea?
TJ, he was down 14-0 with the blink of an eye.
I get it, but still, you gotta play the long haul. You can't just start chucking the ball everywhere. You have to establish a run.
My guess is probably after that first play where Najee got. I never seen Najee get hit that hard from a linebacker in my life. They were probably all like, Najee probably went to silence like, we can't run, we can't do this game.
It was so they got to run the ball, and they got to get the ball to George Pickens. Holy
If they
crap!
don't,
They
TJ,
gotta
I'm
get the
telling you,
ball.
if he doesn't get at least, I'm going to say right now, 10 to 12 targets forced to him,
Yeah.
he may pull an AB where he takes his shirt off and waves at the crowd and walks out. Does one of those.
He might. They got to scheme him open. They can't just send him down on a fly
Scheme
down
him
the
open?
sideline.
Who do they have up there to scheme him open?
This might be the time where Tomlin steps in and works some of his Tomlin magic, Tim.
I mean, unless they're playing with 15 people on the field, I don't see him getting schemed open.
I think you're probably right. And let's just be real. Kenny has got to be better. He did not have a good game. He was bad in San Francisco.
Dude, he missed about 3 touchdowns.
I believe it. I know. I haven't seen him this bad. I don't even know if he was this bad last year, even as his beginning rookie season. I don't know if he got rattled. I don't know if he had a mild concussion. They said he didn't, but I'll
TJ,
tell you what.
you know what happened? When your toughest player on offense gets his just destroyed the first play of the game, you're probably going, "Oh boy, we ain't playing the backup Tennessee Titan third string defense."
No, it was rough. He just has to be better. He's got to play sharper. He's got to be more accurate. Boy, did you see too? And our scheme's got to be better, man. Canada, did you see
they ran all goes like 4 plays in a row. I'm going, what the hell are you doing, Canada?
I know that's like me and you at the Turkey Bowl.
I do that in Madden when I'm like, oh, I'm down by 100. I just keep running all streaks.
Yeah, it wasn't good, Tim. It wasn't good. So, who is your offensive player of the game? Yeah, who's your offensive player of the game, Tim?
My offensive player of the game. I mean, dude, I don't know. Like Kenny can't be as bad as he was. If he's as bad as he was last game, we are in. You know what gets me nervous too? I read something that Mitch was giving him advice on how to, deal with everything. I'm going, that's the last thing I want to read.
Mitch Trubisky's well, he does understand mitigating disappointment, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I don't need all that, whatever he has to mentalize that. I don't need to have that on Kenny.
No,
I don't
you
even
don't want
start
that on Kenny.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Jalen Warren. How you like those?
Could be. I like it. I think I'm going to pick a unit. I think the offensive line is going to bounce back, and I'm going to say this is going to be crazy. I think the Steelers are going to rush for
a unit. You picked that unit.
I did. I just think they're going to bounce back. I think they're going to rush for 150 plus.
They better, because if they don't,
We're done if they don't.
we're dead.
No, they're done
And
if
he's
we
got to throw the
don't.
ball more than 22 times.
Yeah, you know what? If he's got to be, you got to keep him in that 25 range. That's where he's got to stay.
You think?
Yeah.
You
Oh, it
think?
just so. Give me your score prediction. What's your score prediction for the game?
My score prediction?
Yeah. What do you think the score is going to be?
28-10.
Cleveland.
Yes. They're
Oh
going to
my
blow our
gosh.
doors off.
Tim, he's lost it already, guys. He's lost all
TJ,
hope.
TJ, what makes you think they're going to beat that team?
Well, I think they can beat that team. I don't think Cleveland's a juggernaut.
TJ, that they're a better running team than the Niners, and the Niners just ran it down our throats. What makes you think they're going to beat the Browns? That defense held Joe Burrow and crew to like 100 yards. We couldn't get a first down basically in the first half.
Well, so you got to remember this though too. I mean, especially with when you talk about the 49ers, you're not just trying to stop a rushing attack. They got that quick little passing attack too. Cleveland doesn't have that. So you
TJ,
can make it one
we're
dimensional.
missing we're missing two of our best players.
I get that. So we're gonna have to step up. Tim, we do not live in our fears.
I'm 100% living in my fears.
So I'm gonna go the other way. I think the Steelers have a bounce back game. I think they're gonna win 24-10.
This is going to be. I'm going to tell you right now. I said the statement last year when they were infuriating me, and I was like, they're going to rattle off a bunch of wins at the end of the season,
Mhm.
and we're going to be close to getting to the playoffs and get our hearts broken, which happened. That prediction was absolutely correct. I had last year.
It was absolutely correct.
I'm
20,
going to tell you this year.
24 to 10.
This year's going to be the yo-yo year. You're going to go, oh, we're going to be 0-2. Then we'll go on the road for 2 games and win 2 games, and then lose 3 games, and then win 3 games. And by the end of the year, I'm going to be sitting in the same position I sat in the further year. I'm going to be watching some bum ass teams need to lose to get me into the playoffs.
I think they're going to build. I want to see. This is also too. This will give us another window into Kenny Pickett. We'll see what's inside of him. Will he continue to collapse, or will he step up and really will he come to play? We're going to see something about him.
AFC North football. I mean, this is.
I'll tell you
I'm
what.
never,
Our division as a whole right now ain't looking too good right now. We're just not.
TJ, if they get their doors blown off by the Browns, you might as well you ring the fire alarm bells because
We're
you
going to have to see.
you
I
will
think
see
they're
me
going
on
to.
Vegas as the quietest, scaredest person on the planet. Because if they go down, if they lose that team there, just
I think they're
wrap it
going to be
up.
okay. I think they're going to be okay. I think if you have a, I just think, man. I mean, it's one thing to have you got Shanahan and these guys, and they scheme great. When they have 2 weeks to scheme for you, I just think I just don't think we have the horses to compete with them yet. I just don't think we're at that level. But I think we're definitely at the Cleveland Brown level.
Don't. But shouldn't we have 2 weeks to scheme for them?
Well, you're scheming, but if you don't have the personnel, you don't have the personnel. And then
TJ,
what is the key person that we're missing, Tim?
take your pick.
No, no.
Take your
There's
pick.
one key person we're missing, and that's a creative offensive coordinator that schemes things open.
TJ,
So
TJ, your defensive genius and all that money you spent on defense. Guess what? They
but
got they
if
got
you
manhandled.
but if you can't sustain offensive drives and keep your defense fresh, what are they supposed to do?
But guess what, TJ? I get that when you're late in the game, early in the game, you got to get off the field. You got to get off the field. They
I
didn't.
get that. It's just again, a great defense is predicated on an offense that can hold the ball or score a lot of points, and we couldn't do either.
Get off the field. You had your chance to. You had your chance to get back in that game at halftime.
Yeah, and then
You
they
make
let
a
up a
stop there.
65-yard run to McCaffrey.
Get off the field.
I hear you.
That's where all your money's invested. Get off the field.
Yeah,
Get
I
off
hear
the
you.
field. Get off the field.
I hear you. Well, we'll see what happens at the game. Tim, anything else you want to add before we sign off tonight on this international podcast? Tim's all fired up. And I bet you, are you sweating under that mask, Tim?
Oh, this thing's a million degrees, dude. And I
I
got a
bet.
sweatshirt on.
Well, why are you wearing a sweatshirt?
I don't know, TJ.
You sweat. Harris says we're sweaters. I don't know why he's wearing a sweatshirt.
I don't.
We could sweat in Antarctica just in a bathing suit. We'd sweat.
My hotel room was an easy 61 degrees the whole 3 days I was there.
Oh,
All 3 days.
that sounds great.
So, no, TJ, it's gonna suck because I got to watch football all day Sunday, and then you got to stay up late. And I guarantee you, the game's gonna. Let's say that it's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a close game, and it's gonna force me to stay up until midnight. That's just the way the Steelers do it.
As long as we get the W, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, teach. Because if we don't get the W and we're heading up to Vegas and we're 0-2, I maybe go to that party with Lev Bell and be like, "Hey, can we get you suited up, bud?"
Hey, Antonio Brown said, "Hey, you need a receiver." He's
My
the
guess
guy.
is he'll probably be in Vegas too. Next, you probably be no pants, no shirt. I'll be like, get this guy to get his shirt and jersey, get him over there.
That's right. Hey, let's suit him up. All right. Well, I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim. We're the Yinzer Bros. Don't forget, if you like what you hear on our podcast, pass along to your friends, your neighbors, your enemies, everybody. Again, we're the Yinzer Bros. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
Still number one out here. Still.
It's hard to even say that, isn't it, Tim? It's just hard to say that.
This team is gonna die. They're never gonna win a Super Bowl.
We're gonna win one. We'll see you next week.